In overtime, Rochester John Marshall went first, and on their fourth down play from the half-yard line, Brad Fisher was talking about the fact that it looked like a JM player, the running back, pushed the quarterback into the end zone. Is that what you were inquiring about?
Yes, I inquired, I think, quite loudly about that. It was very clear to me that their tailback took about a 7-yard run at the quarterback. The quarterback, in my estimation, was held up at the line of scrimmage. He was held out of the end zone, and you're allowed to go in and block, but you're not allowed to aid the ball carrier. And in our estimation, I haven't watched it on video yet, but in our estimation, he clearly aided the ball carrier in the end zone. So, it's one of those things, and you move on and turn the page and concentrate on what you can do to help your own team win. But it's sometimes difficult to turn the page right away when you see something that you don't like that. But I thought our kids responded well. I think our coaching staff responded well and turned the page and moved on and tried to figure out what we could do to win.
Fourth down and 3 TD pass back of the end zone. Great catch by Holcomb to then on your part of the first overtime.
It was, and I'll tell you, one of the things that you learn as a coach is, schemes are good, and it's important to have the proper schemes dialed up to try to take advantage of what a defense is trying to do to you. But it's probably equally, if not more important, to make sure that your playmakers, the guys who have some experience and have come through for you in situations before, that they're the ones who have the opportunity to make the big play. And Alec Holcomb, returning MVP of our football team, a kid who made 2 huge plays against Century last year in overtime. He's just a kid who really shines when the chips are down, and it just made sense to us to try to get the ball in his hands and give a playmaker the opportunity to make that play. And he sure did. A great catch in the back of the end zone, 1 foot down, and just a big play at a really critical time.
Then Barishka needed to kick a 35-yard extra point to push it into the second overtime.
Yeah, and unfortunately Alec made a kind of a poor decision after he scored the touchdown, and I think they called him for a little bit of a taunt at the end, maybe flipped the ball in a way that kind of taunted the John Marshall team and the John Marshall crowd. So it put us, initially I thought that perhaps the unsportsmanlike was on John Marshall, which would have put the ball at the 1.5, and we were prepared to go for 2 and try to put the game away there with the 2-point conversion and win it in the first overtime. Unfortunately, it turned out to be against us, so it turned out to be a pretty lengthy extra point. But, Barishka has been in that situation before, and we had confidence that he'd be able to knock that through. He's worked hard at his kicking. He's the starting varsity goaltender on the soccer team. So, the kid understands pressure situations, and he's starting to mature in that regard. And I didn't really have any problem with having him kicking in that situation.
And the wind had come down, which no doubt helped. In the second overtime, again, Holcomb catches the TD pass, hands the ball to the official. And on defense, because of a couple of penalties, I think at least 2 penalties, that John Marshall possession lasted a long time. But, the Huskies came up with the plays to win it in the second overtime.
Yeah, we did, and I think there's sometimes some confusion about pass interference at the high school level. It's a 10-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty, but it's not an automatic first down. And so one of the issues, if you are on offense going in, is that, a pass interference from, 26 only gets you half the distance to the goal line. When you take a holding penalty, which they did, then that full 10 yards gets marked off. So, they had a couple of penalties which hurt them, moved them out of easy scoring range, and then when we had the penalty on us, it didn't help them as much as their penalties hurt them. It's, one of the problems, I think, with football is, the defense really does kind of have an advantage in that standpoint as a team pulls within the 15-yard line or thereabouts because of the half the distance to the goal line mark-off. So, like I say, I haven't seen the tape. I don't know how bad the pass interference was. I got the impression from our guys in the booth that it was kind of 2 kids jostling for position and probably could have gone either way. But, whatever it was, our kids responded on fourth down. Then again, from the 13, Blake Westfall made a nice play, got a hand on the ball, and, we found a way to hang on.
27-21, Owatonna double overtime beating Rochester. John Marshall